I am trying to make sure my lighting is good and everything like that. I decided to do the blown out look today. Hopefully the lighting's good. Um, I am here talking about some, you guys know that I suffer from really painful menstrual cramps, so I really want to share practices and products that I'm using to help alleviate my menstrual cramps so it's not as painful. Um, I have had much improvement with my cycle um, with these products. I think I can attribute it to these products. So let's go ahead and get started with product number one. I have 4 products today. I actually don't have everything, so I am gonna make a series um, of this uh, menstrual cycle products that help with menstrual cycle. So I'm gonna make a series about it. But so today we just have 4, so you guys will have to stay tuned for the other ones. So the first product or product bundle that I'm gonna talk about that I use together is magnesium spray, and I pair it with hemp oil. I really like magnesium spray. Because it is a mineral. I have watched a bunch of, well, I watch, but I follow a lot of period practitioners, and they all talk about how important magnesium is as a mineral, and getting it into your diet. It helps you sleep. So taking magnesium and like CBD before bedtime, if you guys have any like sleeping issues, it really helps you sleep, especially during my period. I tend to be like restless, so I was taking them. A lot of them recommended taking magnesium like a week or 2 before and during your cycle. I had got a mineral test done, like a vitamin level test, and my magnesium was pretty high because I was pretty consistent with taking it. And so I believe she told me to balance it out with taking calcium. So let me come up a little bit more. I do take, so to balance out my kind of like excess of magnesium, I started taking calcium, and so I've kind of chilled on the magnesium a little bit. I'm sure I could start it back up. But another way to get it into your system is topically. So this is a topical spray. I believe I got this off of maybe Amazon or eBay. And I really put this to use. It does kind of leave a white film because it has like I want to say like I think it's the salt, or maybe it's the magnesium that's dried up after it's absorbed. It does leave a some residue on it, and it just kind of looks like ashy. Um, I haven't really experienced that much because I now started concocting it with my hemp seeds. So I'll spray, it says on here that 4 sprays equals approximately 66 mgs of elemental magnesium. So I spray like around 2 to 3 pumps in my hand, and then I'll do like a pump of this, and I'll blend it in and rub it in. And when I tell you there's no residue, now I wasn't doing that for the residue. I don't mind the residue because it's on my abdomen and my abdomen is not exposed, so nobody's seeing that. But I was just doing it for the added benefits because hemp is very relaxing, also because it's of the cannabis plant. So this is straight up hemp that you can buy on Amazon. I got like 3 in a pack, very affordable. This one you can also take internally, but it tastes disgusting. I prefer just regular CBD if I'm going to take that internally. I just apply this topically because it's very, it is relaxing. It does have a relaxing feel to it. Even when you first put it on, like I noticed it because I'm a big sensory person. So, or I just noticed that, but it's really relaxing. So anyway, magnesium is a mineral. When you take it internally, it does relax your muscles. So your uterus is a muscle, so it helps to relax that, because obviously when you're on your period, you're feeling like those muscle cramping, you know, like your you're feeling pain. So magnesium is a mineral that's going to help you relax. That's why a lot of people take it before bedtime. So it helps me internally to sleep on my period. Even if I'm not on my period and I'm having trouble sleeping, I take magnesium and it helps. So, but you can overdo it. So that's where topical comes in. So I'm still able to get the magnesium in my body. Also, I do really like taking baths. So I will do the Epsom salt, which that is another form of magnesium. So soaking in an Epsom salt bath is also another way your body can absorb magnesium. And it's super, super relaxing. It is another form of magnesium. I think it's magnesium sulfonate, if not mistaken. Yeah, and I love doing those. So yeah, and I really feel like it helps. I do it about a week before my cycle, so I do track my cycle, and I do it a week before, and I also do it during. So I pair these two, and when you apply some oil with your magnesium, I was just a happy accident that I found. You won't see any of that residue. So yeah, that's something that I feel has really, really helped. So the next thing I'm gonna talk about, let me make sure I hit all the points. Yep, I did. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is this hot water bottle. Obviously, you can use an electric heater. You can use like the microwavable ones. Just applying any heat. The real gist and point of it is just applying heat to your abdomen. So it's relaxing the muscles. It's helping increase the blood flow. And heat is comforting also. So it just kind of like hits all the points. But this one is one I got off of, I think, eBay. You fill it up with warm water, and it stays warm for a little bit. I honestly have gotten out of using, like, I do have ginger patches that I use that I like, but I have gotten out of using these kind of, like my electric pad, which would be good for the winter, but I have gotten out of using these. But just because I don't really use it as often as these other things, I'm not gonna throw it away because I may want to use it in the future one day. But it is an option if you're somebody who maybe doesn't experience too intense cramping. Or you can use this in conjunction with other things if you do experience intense cramping, to try this out, because this is another affordable option. If you can't afford like the electric one, you can just do this kind of silicone rubber one. And okay, so the next thing I'm gonna talk about, did I bring that downstairs? Oh no, I don't think I brought it. I did not. Let me see. Oh, here it is. So this is my, sorry, I was charging it for you guys, so it was kind of on the charger. But this is my TENS unit. It is a good working product. I've never had, they actually have period specific TENS unit machines. Last time I checked, they were around $150. I think I found one for like $50. But I got this off of Amazon, I believe, for like 20 bucks. So it's not a specific period one, but it is a TENS unit machine. And I have read that other women have just used regular TENS unit machines for their cramps. And by the way, this brand, them as a company, when I first bought this, they were awful to me. Like, I had to ask them, because there's no specific period or abdomen specific option on here. There's knee, hip, shoulder, back, ankle. They're like, oh, we can't give you any information on that. So like, I contacted them, I called them, and they like literally refused to help me with selecting. Like, I had no idea how to use this, so I had to learn on my own. So they were extremely unhelpful. So I would recommend getting another brand. I don't recommend this brand, but the device does work pretty good. And I don't have anything really to compare to, because I've never used the TENS unit before. Although I do think the patches in here, I will show y'all, look like the little hospital patches that they put on you to, I think, get your heart rate. Okay, so, oh wait, let me also disclaimer, I am not a medical advisor or, a doctor, so please consult with your doctor. I'm not telling you that this is going to help cure you or anything like that. I'm just saying that these things have helped me, so I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. Okay. Anyway, so this is, get this off and show you guys. Oh my God, everything just fell on the floor. Let me show you guys what this looks like after I pick up everything that I've dropped on the floor up. Okay. So the machine looks like this, and then all the cords come in the back. You do get a charger, which I love. I love being able to just charge stuff up. I'm not a big battery person. So, and it charges up pretty quick. It stays charged pretty quick. I'm assuming most 10-unit machines do that. And it's pretty easy to use, to be honest with you. So, this is the on button. I might demo it for you guys also. That's the on button. Right now it's on ankle. So I pretty much tested out, this says back, oh that says neck. I pretty much tested all these out on my abs when I was cramping, and it does little pulses. So let me put on the patches. So these are the patches here, different sizes. I typically use this size because this is the size of, when you look at the period TENS units, they're this size, but I don't think it really matters. So this is the one that I primarily use. So they come with these connectors, and then it turns on for 20-minute intervals. So after 20 minutes, you can restart it up, but it goes on nonstop for 20 minutes. So you do get these connector here, and let me see, I already have this one kind of open. So you're going to take this and you can plug it in. This is where the charger port goes, and then you're able to plug up to 4 at a time. I only do 1 at a time just because it's kind of, you don't want to do too much. But I will put it in A1, and you have the A side here and the B side here, and that means that it's just literally connected to that. So then on the other end, you're gonna take these off and plug it in like this. All the way. You want to make sure it's connected all the way. Take this side on the other end and plug that side in. I might stand up for y'all and put this on. So how I do this for my abdomen is I put one here and I put one here like that. So that way, because if I do it the other way, it's just, I feel like it's gonna bend this, and it just works better coming this way like that. And I'm usually in the bed using this. So you can go like a little bit lower, but that's typically where I see them put it on their abs. So you put it on right there, and then it's on, is it on 6? Oh my God, I didn't realize you can actually increase the time. I just pressed time, y'all. Reading is fundamental. Okay, so I typically have it on acupressure, and it's on ankle already. So I'm gonna go ahead, on the side is where they have the plus and the minus. That's where you can increase the intensity. So, so yeah, I feel that already. So I'm gonna relax, turn that down, but it does little like pulses. It feels like I don't know how to explain it. It just feels like pulses. And to my understanding with this machine is when you're in pain, your brain is what tells you you're in pain. So you can have an injury but not feel it until your brain realizes that you feel pain. It's what I think the science is behind that with the body and this machine. So this helps to disconnect that connection from your brain to your body. So that is the point of this. And I think it started with athletes. So, like, if athletes have injuries, they would use TENS units to help with, because athletes, they use their body and they tend to get injuries. So, this helps them to alleviate some of the pain that they experience um, when it comes to certain sports injuries. And they have found out that it works for cramps too. So, and it does help. I will say that when I am having like really, really intense cramps, like in the past when I've used this and I've had super intense cramps and I'm like laying down, and I've used this when that 20 minutes was up because I only had it at 20 minutes. Or I've like fallen asleep with it and I felt my cramps come back. I'm like, why are my cramps so intense? And it's because like the 20 minutes was up and it stopped working because I needed to restart the 20 minutes over again. So that's when I would notice that, wow, this does kind of work because my cramps are coming back because this was off. It went into sleep mode. So, yeah, I mean, and you can turn it up a little bit more. It's kind of like a little bit too intense for me. I don't typically put it past the second or third nodule. But they do have period ones where they market as though like you can go to work and have it on. They're much smaller, much more discreet. They're probably like the size of from here down as far as the device goes, and I think it just has like a on and off. Um, because who really wants to walk around with this? I guess you could like put this in your purse or something. Um, I personally don't intend to use something like this and to be walking around because when I'm on my period, really walking or doing any kind of physical activity just makes my pain increase more. So I'd rather just lay down, relax, and not have to really do anything. But on the days when laying down and relaxing is not working and my nothing else is working, I will definitely reach for this because it does help. Um, so yeah, if you're somebody who just experiences really, really severe cramping, I totally recommend to try a TENS unit or grab you one. Especially if you like have to fly somewhere or you just cannot get out of something and you're on your cycle and like you just cannot get out of it, lean on just other things that you can possibly use to like get you through. Um, but I think also like that's cool, right? It helps with the pain, like menstrual cramp, but that's not the only symptom when it comes to your period because you can still experience like migraines, tiredness, fatigue, just body aching, feeling just sick, right? Like really bad PMS. So it's not just the cramps that women experience. So this is great for helping just specifically with cramps, but it's like you're still experiencing those other symptoms too and still feeling shitty. So um, anyway, I do recommend still trying it in conjunction with, other things also. So that's the TENS unit. And then the last thing I'm going to talk to you about is yoni steaming. I cannot wait to yoni steam, you guys. Yoni steaming for me is like, I cleaned this out yesterday. I just want to make sure this is not, okay. I have two new big bowls thanks to my aunt. She gave me two of these big bowls because I have a small version of this that fits perfectly in my toilet, and so that's how I use it. But this, I could probably do like the squatting method, and as soon as I saw these two bowls, I was like, I'm totally gonna use this for yoni steaming. So you do want to use like glass or steel. You don't want to use a plastic bowl because of course what's in plastic and PBA, and you're boiling that hot water and it's kind of like rising and like going into um, you know, going into your, you don't want to melt the plastic, and like you just don't really like, we're getting away from using plastic, y'all. Um, so I just feel like, you know how they say avoid using plastic water bottles? It's going to be the same thing, because the plastic, I believe, you know, particles can get into the water when you drink it. So it's the same thing, especially when the water is boiling. You don't want to be using a plastic yoni bowl. So get you a metal one or glass, or something like non-PBA. So yoni steaming is an ancient practice. It's pretty much where you boil herbs here, and you just in a bowl and you sit on it. So that way you're allowing the steam to like get into your yoni womb space. It is more of a anecdotal, I'm not even gonna say anecdotal, because there's been a lot of, I feel personally, research on these things. Whether it's scientific, it's still research behind a lot of these things that I've looked up and found. Um, so this is a blend from Sabo. It's all natural, organic, and therapeutic. It is a 4 ounce. I love this brand. Super affordable. And let's see. I do about, I just get like a big like spaghetti bowl, and for the stove I boil that up. I'll put that in here. Well, I put the herbs in there and I boil the herbs with the water. And then I try not to let the herbs though just get too like soggy. I try to make sure that the herbs are, you know, boiled up and that the water color has changed a little bit, but I try not to I try to make sure that the herbs aren't too soggy, because I feel like that just, how are you going to be able to really get the benefits of the herbs, you know, to get into you if you just kind of let them just overboil. Um, but anyway, so the purpose of yoni steaming is that it helps to, I've even heard women say that they saw clots come out. So when you have menstrual cramps, painful cramps, typically that's linked to, you know, clotting, fibroids. Um, and so I just know that I've read that a lot of women saw fibroids and clots come out when they could continuously did yoni steaming, and you want to do it before your cycle or after your cycle to like get rid of old blood. It also helps to do before your cycle, because it helps to, I guess, kind of like bring your cycle on, but also it just relaxes your muscles.